Hi, welcome. I am Jasmine Katarakaran, and today I am so excited to talk to you about creativity. What is creativity? Exactly. And you might be thinking, like, well, of course I know what creativity is. It's what artists are, and I'm not creative, or maybe you're creative. But I wanted to go over kind of what is creativity? Because honestly, I feel like it's this concept that we think we have it or we don't have it. And I want to share with you today, first of all, you have it. We all have it. And honestly, I used to think of creativity as exclusive to artists, right? In the traditional sense, where like a painter's creative, a writer's creative, an accountant, I don't know, is an accountant creative? But the answer is yes. It doesn't matter what you do as a profession, we were born creative. And sometimes, especially like in late childhood, it just kind of disappears because it's kind of beaten out of us. But think of it when you were a child and creating all the time and fearless and do like we all drew something as kids, and you were creative even if you don't think you're creative right now. So one, I want to squash that. If you're listening to this and it's like, I'm not creative, you are creative. We just need to tap into that, and it's this creativity that will help you kind of give you different perspectives and open up the possibilities and dream big again, like we had when we were kids. Remember when you were asked that question, what do I want to be when you grow up? And kids can say anything and everyone's like, yes, that's awesome. But as an adult, if we were asked that question, where do we go? Practical and like, and then we always have all this stuff like, I kind of want that, but that's not possible, and that's not possible. Like, let's go back to that kid-like mentality where it's like anything's possible and make it happen. So let's go back to the definition of what is creativity. From the definition of creativity above that said it's exclusive to artists in the traditional sense, that is where people fall into that thought process that, well, I'm just not creative or I can't be creative. And as I've been saying, that can't be further from the truth. The fact is that everyone is creative and everyone can tap into their creativity to be even more so if you choose to. So, what is my definition of creativity? The creativity that encompasses all of us. And that is that creativity can be defined simply as doing something that matters and makes personal meaning in your life, right? Let me repeat that. Creativity is simply something that matters and thus makes meaning in your life. So, think about what gives you personal meaning. What brightens up your day? What would you want more of? And as you think of that, let's go through examples of how might maximizing creativity look like in practice. Are you ready? So, using creativity to help inspire your life could be as simple as taking 30 minutes out of your day to do something you love, right? Like picking up writing again, learning a new language, cooking, or as simple as sitting, thinking, relaxing at a coffee shop and watching the world go by. Does that sound amazing? That sounds amazing to me. I want to do that. And there's no right or wrong. It's picking something that's purely for you, right? And because when you take a break to foster your creativity, even if it's just 30 minutes, even if it's just 10 minutes, anything you could spare, just like thinking of compound interest, it will make a big impact in your overall happiness. So, using creativity to drive your personal mission could also translate to bigger things that inspire change in your life, right? If you sit there and relax for 30 minutes watching the world go by, thoughts are going to appear in your mind, and this is creativity at work, right? It's like, oh, I had this idea. Wow, I could do that. Or, sparks of joy, and that's what compounds. And if you do this every day, invest in yourself, in your creativity, in your practice, then it compounds to like something even greater. And before you know it, you're like, wow, this is an amazing life I'm living. So it could be the person who might be making a lot of money in a corporate career and is successful, right, in the kind of society's terms, but realizes that there's no meaning behind that. And she decides to leave her corporate job to follow her dream of, let's say, opening up a coffee shop that will combine her love for business, baking, and creating a space in itself that helps foster others to think and escape and create. To her, that is doing something that gives her personal meaning. And now she is living a life that is aligned to her true creative self and is infinitely happier and fulfilled in so many ways than that traditional corporate job, right? That never could have done that because she followed her true self and decided to create her personal meaning. So it's really powerful if you just stop to think like, how do you define creativity, and that how do you make personal meaning out of your life? What is that version for you, and are you living it? On a personal level, for me, creativity is shown in every aspect of my life, right? Me talking to you right now on this subject is all about doing something that matters to me and bringing personal meaning, choosing to matter and maximize how I impact the world. So, like the example above, that successful corporate career path, I could just do my full-time job, right? And live a pretty good life. Friends actually often ask me, why do I do this? Why do I do all the things that I do? Why do I run an online school, work directly with clients, doing creativity coaching, and all these things, all these other things I do? They always ask, like, aren't you tired? When do I have time? And, the answer is yes, it can be a lot. And yes, I am tired sometimes, not all the time, but much of the time. But it's not a lot when what like wakes me up, right? It gives me personal meaning. And every time a student from my academy writes that they've gotten their first job, and in creativity coaching, a client makes a huge breakthrough that changes their life, really, and changes the way they think, that changes the way they live. That is creativity in action, living a life that matters to me. And that's what's most important to me, and choosing to live that life, right? So now that we clearly defined what creativity is as choosing something to do that matters and creates personal meaning in your life, let me know. What does creativity look like for you? What is that version for you? I want you to start thinking about how you can maximize it and fit it a bit more in your life. You don't get overwhelmed, don't feel daunted like, oh my God, I gotta do it all at once. It could be, like I said, that 10 minutes a day, that 30 minutes a day. Just start kind of picking at it and seeing how you feel, and don't get stressed about timelines or it has to be perfect, because there's no perfection here. It's totally unique to you, right? And tomorrow, I want you to do this, to do just one little snippet that is for you and that will foster your creativity. And if you're, kind of wondering, kind of lost, I don't know, how do I spark that? I mean, a hint is think back to when you were a child, right? Or if you can't remember childhood, because I know it's a blur for most of us, I know for me it's a little bit of a blur. Observe kids. See how they play, how they use their creativity and spark that joy and that curiosity. Curiosity is a big one, right? So think about what makes what creates that personal meaning in your life, what gives you that joy. And in the meantime, share it with me in the comments, and I can't wait to continue this discussion with you. So, if you enjoyed this, if you want to learn more about creativity and how you can incorporate it in your everyday life to, bring that joy back, bring that childhood wonderment back, and dream big, really. It sounds a little cheesy, but, that's how you dream big and you reach new levels when you allow yourself to do that and to dream again, as we did as kids. So, I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and again, comment. Tell me what brings you personal meaning and how you can incorporate it in your life tomorrow, today. Okay, I'll see you in the next video. Talk to you later, guys. Bye. Happy creating.